Now that we have a better idea of how fossils can be formed, dated, and compared to each other, we can begin to talk about comparative anatomy with relation to evolution. So, the name comparative anatomy should give you a clue as to what this is all about. We will be comparing the anatomy of different organisms to derive some sort of information. With relation to evolution, there are three levels we need to know about: microevolution, speciation, and macroevolution. Again, like most things in biology, the clue to the definition comes from the word itself. Micro means small, macro means big. So, with that in mind, microevolution refers to the evolutionary change which is very small, things such as small changes in the DNA of an organism. Next up, we have speciation. Again, species, speciation, the word kind of gives away the meaning. Speciation is where evolutionary change in a species occurs to the point that populations become unable to breed with each other. Following this, the definition of a species is a population of organisms which are successfully able to produce fertile offspring. Finally, we have macroevolution. Macroevolution is large-scale changes between organisms, kind of like the level above speciation. These are things like monkeys getting fingers and dolphins getting flippers. Like, say, if a dinosaur species DNA or genotype evolves over time, it will eventually begin to manifest as a change in its phenotype. This will eventually cause the formation of new species, and these species might eventually evolve over millions of years to be significantly different to each other. So, microevolutionary change in a species will eventually lead to speciation, which will eventually lead to macroevolutionary change. Let's look at another example: dog breeds. Hopefully you know that dog breeds can mate with others to produce other dogs, like Labradors and Poodles to produce Labradoodles. Since Labradoodles are also able to successfully reproduce, we know that Labradors and Poodles are the same species. Even though they are the same species, they obviously look very different. Now here's the trick: since we know that Labradors and Poodles are the same species, the differences in their appearance have to be the result of microevolution, rather than macroevolution. If Labradors and Poodles eventually, after say 100,000 years, became unable to breed with each other, they would be known as different species. This would be speciation. Finally, after 1,000,000 years, let's say the Poodle species develops gills, whereas the Labrador species develops wings. This would be macroevolution.